Hello everyone, welcome to Another Day in the Car. I'm Jules, and today we're going to be talking about a very serious topic, and that is domestic violence. Please like this video, and we'll get into it. And the first thing is that the amended complaint and information for Barry Morphew has domestic violence listed on it. As you can see, domestic violence in Colorado is not treated as an independent crime. It's a sentencing enhancement, and it increases the punishment for any offense against current or former spouses or dating partners. And Colorado is a mandatory arrest state, which means that police must arrest anyone that they have probable cause to believe has committed domestic violence. And it doesn't even matter whether the victim wants to drop the charges. And while the charges are pending, defendants have a protection order taken out against them. And I think we've all seen the signs in Barry. He is a dominant personality. We've heard about his bad temper, his temper tantrums. We've heard of some ill behavior towards Suzanne. And I'd like to say that abusive behavior is a choice. It's not that they're out of control. It's not that they can't help themselves. It's that that's what they want to do in order to control a situation. Different tactics that they use in order to manipulate a situation to get what they want includes dominance, where they make decisions for their partner, their family, etc. They tell them what to do. They expect them to obey without question. They may treat their mate as a servant or a possession or a child, and they enjoy humiliating their partners, making them feel that they're nothing without their spouse. They often put them down, call them names, insult them, shame them, etc. And part of that whole thing is the classic thing of, explaining away bruises and such, saying that the partner is terribly clumsy. Isolation is another thing that they use. They cut the victim off from the outside world. They keep them from interacting with their family and friends. They might even get them to drop out of school or quit work. It gets to the point where the abused spouse or partner will ask for permission to do anything and basically won't make any decisions without the input of the other one. And abusers make threats. They intimidate. They make excuses, excuse upon excuse. They will make a victim feel like it is their fault. The victim ends up making excuses for the abuser. It's all around nasty business and a very dangerous situation, since this sort of thing almost always escalates. And quite often it'll begin as just kind of like a obsessive relationship where the abuser starts off seeming like they're needy. The abused partner ends up feeling like they are caring for this other person, shielding them, protecting them, and all the while the abuser gets more and more dominant in the situation, gets to the point where the victim is afraid to upset their partner, and then eventually they're to the point where they are basically owned by this other person. And things get real dangerous when the victim decides that they've had enough. And if they do not extricate themselves very carefully from that situation, bad things can happen, which is why the hotline is set up so that people can get in touch with it anonymously. They can get in touch with it, using privacy settings on their phone, etc., so that their partner won't find out that they've done so. And if you have a friend who's in a situation that you're seeing where they are being dominated, don't take the hint from the partner. When the partner's like making hints like you got to go away, they don't want you around, etc. Put up with their BS and be around your friend. Let your friend know that you're there for them no matter what. Because another thing that these abusers like to do is they like to spin a situation around to make their victim feel like they are alone in this world. And it sounds like that's what Barry did when he was saying about how Suzanne cried in his arms and asked him why her family didn't care about her or something like that. Well, I've seen it time and time again. They will twist things around and make the victim feel like they've been abandoned by other people. They will hammer it into them that they're not cared for and that the abuser is the only one that cares for them. Don't let your friends and loved ones feel that they are alone. Be there for them. Don't try to break them up, because the abuser will get in there and get between you and your friend or loved one and will try to make things go wrong in your relationship. Don't let that happen. Don't let them win. We know this road that poor Suzanne was on was a lonely one. And then Barry got her to move to Colorado, to live out in the middle of nowhere. The nearest houses were all unoccupied because they were all vacation rentals. He knew that she was alone out there. He knew that she had no one around. He made sure of that. And then somehow the kids were out of town as well. We need to really look at this timeline. It appears that Suzanne was accounted for at some point on Saturday. So what happened to her happened sometime Saturday night or the early hours of Sunday. Barry had a limited amount of time to put Suzanne wherever he put her at that point, and then he went to Broomfield. And then that night, law enforcement was around looking for Suzanne. I'm guessing that Suzanne was probably moved more than once, or was placed in several different locations, if you know what I mean. And that's just ugly. I hate to think of that happening to such a beautiful lady. And I pray that whatever happens in this case, that somehow the family isn't put through the worst. I mean, this is bad enough, just knowing that Suzanne's no longer with them. And I pray that there will be justice served sooner rather than later. Thank you for watching Another Day in the Car with Julez. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video. And we'll talk about it some more in the next one.